Hello, everyone. Welcome to our exciting Diwali cooking bonanza. So we are so excited that you guys are here. So welcome and let us know where you're joining us from. So yeah, so we'll just give a couple minutes as people are trickling in. So, okay, so we are live here. Okay, that's good. Okay. So hello, everyone. For those of you who are meeting me for the first time, I'm Dr. Shobha Rayapudi. And today I'm very excited that I'm actually getting two other friends who are lifestyle medicine doctors as well to give you an exciting session of, I know like a Monday is Diwali, and we can't wait to show you all the wonderful recipes that actually you can make and celebrate Diwali. So for those of you who are meeting me for the very first time, I'm Dr. Shobha Rayapudi. I'm co-founder of Gift of Health. So along with my husband, Arjun Rayapudi, both of us co-founded Gift of Health. Through Gift of Health, we have actually helped thousands of people reverse their chronic conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, heart disease, and all the regular chronic conditions that you see nowadays. And we have actually helped them to get freedom from the disease and reduce their medication dosage or get off the medication treadmill. So we are quite excited to be here. And I'm a physician, epidemiologist, and a certified lifestyle medicine doctor. And for those of you who are wondering, okay, what is lifestyle medicine? Because that may be a new term for most of you. Actually, a lifestyle medicine is where doctors use intensive lifestyle therapeutic measure to address the root cause of the disease, where we are addressing the diet, and increase physical activity, managing stress, reducing harmful substances, and having restorative sleep, and having meaningful communities. So like that's what like lifestyle medicine, actually it's a six-pronged approach where all these factors are addressed. If you look at it, like 80% of the disease are mostly due to the diet and lifestyle risk factors. So here we are very excited because I have two other friends, Dr. Mahima Gulati and Dr. Sirisha Potluri, who would be joining to show you yummy recipe. So if you're wondering like, okay, even how did this happen? So it was so funny, like we were just having the conversation and we were getting excited that Diwali is coming this Monday, but at the same time, we were thinking as doctors, this is the time where we see a lot of people with increased cholesterol or high blood pressure. And this is the time, like the very food that we eat to celebrate is actually causing this disease. So we thought, why not show people like how they can eat without sabotaging their health. So this and this idea just offshooted to this two live cooking demos. So we did one on Thursday. If you haven't watched, make sure you can catch the replay. And today is the second part. So we can't wait to show you all the yummy recipes. So first of all, like our first guest is Dr. Mahima Gulati. She is an endocrinologist and also both certified lifestyle medicine doctor. So I would let her talk about, and today she is going to show yummy recipes. So she's going to show carrot halwa, and anyhow, So let that be a surprise so that she can let you know what she's making. So we have Angela on the line. Hi, Angela. She's so Dr. Angela, she's joining us from Tampa, and she's also a certified lifestyle medicine doctor. And we have Pooja. Hi, Pooja. Hi, Anne. So good to see you all. Hi, Mary. Welcome. Yeah. Okay. So now let me have Mahima. So let me. Okay, there you go. So hi, Mahi.
Shobha, it is such a joy and an honor to be here. And happy Diwali and happy Dhanteras to you and your viewers.
Oh, thank you. And
You for
yes,
joy.
Mahi.
You're bringing the gift of health to everybody. You know, all the people you touch, including myself. I'm a beneficiary of your amazing work too, me and my family. So congratulations to both you and Arjun and also your family.
Thank you so much, Mahi. And we are so fortunate to have you because you help patients like same using diet and lifestyle factors to reduce chronic conditions. So we are so excited to have you because you have helped thousands of your patients as well, just by using diet and lifestyle. So we are so glad to have you here. And for our viewers, if you would like to briefly say what do you do and what kind of patient actually you see, and yeah, you can briefly tell our viewers about that.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me here, by the way. So, I am a board certified endocrinologist. As you mentioned, endocrinology, is the specialty that deals with hormonal problems. So, the biggest one is, of course, diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes. But we also see other hormonal problems like thyroid, like, polycystic ovary syndrome, like, reproductive disorders, bone mineral metabolism disorders. So anything that has to do with hormones or metabolism or energy balance, we deal with that. And as you mentioned, I'm also a board certified lifestyle medicine physician. And I actually direct the lifestyle medicine program at my health system in Connecticut. I'm based in Middletown, Connecticut. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And, I'm very excited to uh, talk here about how we can do our traditional culinary recipes in a way that all of our families can eat. As Diwali is about worshiping the goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and fortune, right? And one of the biggest wealth, or actually the biggest wealth, is health, right? So how can we not compromise our health if we have conditions like diabetes or, thyroid, or of course, there's this obesity, which is the biggest sort of the epidemic these days, right? So taking care of our health, which is the biggest wealth. And thank you for giving me this platform to share a little bit about that today.
And it's such a pleasure, Mahi. So we have Aruna on the line, Judy, and so we have lots of people actually excited to see your cooking, and so people are curious. Okay, so what are you going to show us today?
Yeah, so I am not sure if you can see my ingredients. Maybe I'll have my helper, my son's helping me today, so I can have him come over and demonstrate to you what we have today. I am going to start with, one of the sort of the very traditional, very signature confections in North India. It's called Gajar Halwa, also called Gajarela, and
Mhm.
that's carrot. It's a carrot pudding, right? So can you please bring the camera here? Okay, so if you can. All right, so let me show you the ingredients, and Shobha will actually, circulate the list of the ingredients and the recipe on your channel. That's, something that I have already given to her. So what we have here is these are cooked carrots. These are, you can boil them, you can steam them, you can pressure cook them. I pressure cooked my carrots, and all you need to do is just basically cut them and throw them in a steamer, right? So that's the carrots. That's the main ingredient of the halwa. I actually have date paste here, as you can see, and I think Shobha has a nice recipe for date paste. I think she covered that on Thursday as well. But what we do is we actually soak medjool dates in warm water for a few, just maybe 30 minutes or less. And then we process them in a blender. And that's the same thing I've done here. I've cooked my carrots and then I've blended them in the blender, right? So these are kind of like a halwa texture or a sort of a mush, right? So these are the two main ingredients. I ended up having too much date paste. I'm not going to use all of it. I think I'm barely going to use a fraction of that. And then the third ingredient is going to be my soy milk. So I'm using organic soy milk from Trader Joe's. The ingredients of this are water and whole organic soybeans. I think your viewers already know that we should be using plant milk. And I think you covered a lot of ground on Thursday why these are perhaps a little bit better option than traditional dairy or cream or ghee, etc. Right? Organic because we really want to do actually just a little clear my okay. So we want to do organic soybeans or at the minimum non-GMO soybeans because GMO soybeans there's a little bit of problem with that. So always try to get organic, and I think that's basically most of the food chain anyhow. It's pretty easy to get organic soy milk. Now you can get any organic soy milk. There are many kinds of calcium fortified, vitamin D fortified, vitamin B12 fortified soy milks, and those are pretty good too. I just use that, and you can make your own plant milks. You can do almond milks, you can do flax milk. You choose it. You can actually do this recipe with many different variations and permutations and combinations. So that's the third ingredient. And then the fourth ingredient is going to be a nut or a seed butter. That's going to be our healthy fat. Like I said, we're not going to do any ghee or oils in this one. So I am doing, let me actually invert that and I'll tell you why I had it inverted. So this is, organic tahini. I think let me see if I can show it to you. Yep, organic tahini. This is again just plain sesame seed butter from Trader Joe's, but you can do any nut butter. The best actually fat is organic, not organic, I'm sorry, just a raw almond butter. And I'll tell you why I had it inverted because, when we get these nut butters or seed butters from the store, they typically tend to have, there's a lot of oil at the top of those nut butters and the actual butter tends to settle down at the bottom. So I was given this hack on one of the YouTube videos that if you invert it and store it like that, then it's going to be a lot easier to handle. You're not going to have that oil settling at the top of the seed butter. So that's my healthy fat. And then I think those are really the ingredients. Then I have some, flavor enhancers. So I have our, the halwa cannot really be complete without cardamom powder. This is a green cardamom powder. It's a very signature herb or spice of Indian dessert cooking. And it really has, one of the best aromas. It's actually used as a mouth freshener. Uh, Really, you cannot make any halwa or any dessert really without cardamom powder. This is just a few strands of saffron soaked in warm water, as you can see. So again, saffron's actually renowned as the world's most expensive spice. And it's a really, healthy and amazing uh, sort of spice that we use in Asian cooking and Mediterranean cooking. It's, got again a wonderful aroma. It actually comes from saffron flowers, the stigma of the saffron flowers. It's actually handpicked. That's why it's so expensive.
Yes, totally agree, Mahi. So actually, we have a question from our viewers. So they're asking, can you briefly address people's concern about soy milk and estrogen?
You bet. You bet. Okay. So I get that question all the time. Right. So soy milk actually, has isoflavones or, the phytoestrogens, the plant estrogens, right? And sometimes people have this concern that if someone consumes these phytoestrogens, especially if they have breast cancer or if they have thyroid conditions, is that okay? And the data says, the science says it is okay. You really have to consume gallons and gallons of soy milk or really humongous amounts or massive amounts of soybeans in order to harm your health when it comes to, getting thyroid underactivity. And for breast cancer also, the data did not pan out. If anything, there were some reports that said that having more soy consumption, and now we're talking about, unprocessed or minimally processed soy. So, this soy milk, as you see, it's just minimally processed soy milk. It's just water and soybeans. But, most of the fortified soy milks, they're minimally processed. We're not talking about, textured soy proteins or, soy protein powders and something that is unrecognizable, right? So edamame, just natto or tempeh, etc. These are actually associated with, to some extent, protection against metastases from breast cancer. And one has to remember that plant estrogen, whether it comes from soy, whether it comes from lignans that are found in flax seeds and sesame seeds or tahini, right? They are not structurally identical to mammalian estrogen, which is the estrogen that we have, right? We have estradiol. And if you actually look at the biological structure, they are kind of very different molecules. If anything, plant estrogens might block the action of mammalian estrogen or estradiol and protect against, development of things like breast cancer or hormone sensitive cancers like prostate cancers in men. So in normal amounts, and we are talking about up to 3 servings or even 4 servings of soy in a day. Again, unprocessed or minimally processed, there are no risks to health. The phytoestrogens, if anything, are beneficial, especially if women are going through menopause. Does that sound okay?
Excellent, Mahi. That definitely allays a lot of concerns and fears. You're
I'm sorry to interrupt, Shobha, but one thing I want to put out there is, people are so concerned about soy milk, but they're not concerned about real milk.
Yes, you got that, Mahi. Yes.
80% of all the dietary estrogens comes from dairy, right? So, and that
Yes.
actually animal estrogen, that's mammalian estrogen, that's the same estradiol that our body makes, right? So, when we get cow's milk or buffalo's milk or any other mammalian milk, right? And unfortunately, in modern day, farming practices, cows are, they are milked when they are already pregnant. They are kept pregnant while, milking them. So they actually tend to have a lot of not just estrogen, but progesterone and other sex steroids. And those are, much higher concentrations than soy plant estrogens. And they are the same structure as our estradiol. So, if somebody is concerned about breast cancer, or thyroid disease, etc., they may have more, or prostate cancer, right? Any hormone sensitive cancer, they may, possibly harm more from these estrogens.
You just hit the nail on the head, Mahi. You're so right. Sometimes we just concern about minor things, but we don't consider the major villains. So as you said, like dairy is the one actually we should be concerned about. So yeah, I know I won't hold you for long, so you can go ahead and get the cooking started, and maybe while you're cooking, definitely you can address the concerns like while you're cooking. So just wanted to let you know. So Padmaja, Vani, and so they are on the line. They are saying, Mahi, you are looking awesome, and we have Shilpi. So yeah, so we have a lot of people who joined and really excited to see like what you're about to show. So bring on Mahi. So yes, so you can let us know, okay, how we can make this carrot halwa.
And I am so sorry, Shobha. I just wanted to say happy Diwali and happy Dhanteras to all my friends. And I have to say, this is my first live cooking demo. I'm not a very good cook. I'm only doing it because Shobha encouraged me, and Shobha is such an powerful, empowering leader. So I'm only doing it because she showed me the path, and I am so sorry. I ask for forgiveness if I make any goof ups. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. So yeah, I think we were going through the ingredient list, and this one right here is, just garnishing. So we have some pistachios. Now I remember Shobha yesterday or Thursday, you were really nice when you actually shelled out the pistachios. I'm a little lazy. I already have shelled pistachios. These are raw, not roasted. These are raw pistachios. So like I said, the kesar and the elaichi, or the saffron and the cardamom, they mix really well with pistachio. And so we use that as a garnish on top of the halwa. And then we also have some, golden raisins and almonds, slivered almonds for garnishing. And we have some rose petals because these add beauty and taste to the halwa. So actually more than halwa, the other ingredient, the other recipe that I'll show you if I have the time. So let's get started then. I'm going to have my technician, my assistant, my son, he's going to try to position us properly while I do this. Okay. So I'm going to
Okay.
all right. So I just
Yes.
have
Yes. So yeah, that is good, Mahi. Now the pan is showing. Yes, good.
and I'm just basically, I got my gas on and I'm adding some mushed carrots, the cooked carrots to my pot here, my stuff, and I'm not going to do a lot. I'm just going to try to cook a little bit so that, we can kind of get that cooked in time. The more amount I have, the more time it will take.
And
So
Mahi, can you tell our viewers how you cook the carrot?
I actually pressure cooked them, so you can pressure cook them, but, I guess the healthiest option would be to steam it, or, I think it's all okay. You can boil it. You do you, whatever works for you. I pressure cook them because that's the easiest way. Now I'm adding a little bit of soy milk. Technically, I'm supposed to measure, but I'm just going to go by, what I find suitable. I'll only add a little bit at a time. Now, this is something that I would like to tell my viewers. Once you add the milk, you might want to watch the pot because the milk will burn really fast. So make sure that you keep stirring nonstop. Are you able to see okay?
Yes, Mahi. Yes, we are able to see the pot.
All right. So you really have to stir the milk, and you don't need a lot of milk, okay? As you can see, it's already looking like a nice halwa. Now, the other ingredient I'm going to add next is the date paste. And you might want to go, by what your taste is. If you like more sweet, you add more date paste. In the recipe that I gave you, Shobha, I think I added too much date paste. I don't think that much is required. So maybe we'll modify that recipe because I think only a tiny bit. I've slowed down the gas because I don't want to burn my milk. I think this much date paste is more than plenty. And, people can keep it a little light, and if they need, they can add more.
Yes, as you suggested, like people can just adjust to the sweetness. So that's good.
It to your taste. What happens is I typically keep the dates light, and if I need, I can add more dry fruit on top as a garnish. So I can add more raisins, more goji berries, or whatever. You know what I mean? So this is coming along nicely. And I really like to do my cooking of the carrots ahead of time. Some people, they actually take raw carrots and they'll actually, they'll shred the carrots or grate the carrots, and then they'll cook it in the milk as it goes. I personally don't do that because I am lazy and I like to save time. So I just do my cooking ahead of time. I just throw it in my pressure cooker and my carrots are done. That way I can enjoy my halwa without, I find it a little bit, it's a quick hack for lazy cooks like me. I think I'm going to add a little bit more date paste. So like I said, till the date paste is less, you can add more, but start with little and then keep adding as it goes.
So as you said, you're actually showing the quick way to do it, which is good, Mahi, because I know in today's world, a lot of people don't find time. So more than laziness, it's actually sometimes we don't have the time. And it's so nice that you're able to show this simple and fast recipe.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I think I will always take the shortcut, give me the shortcut because I want to remove all the barriers when it comes to healthy cooking. And same thing with, deep frying and, cooking with ghee, etc. All those, lipids, because I find that very cumbersome. It takes a lot of hard work to do that, right? So I'm lazy. I just use the least hassle and typically not using heavy fats, etc. That's very easy. So that's it. My halwa is essentially done. Now, in general, I don't even need to add any fat. But if you're going to serve this as a dessert, you do need some fat, you need some richness, right? And so now at the end of it, and you can actually even remove the heat. You can add a little bit of healthy fat. I ran out of my almond butter. I think almond butter goes best in this recipe, but the only thing I have in my house right now is tahini, which is sesame seed butter. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. And that's a very good, actually, tahini is a great, great addition to desserts. Tahini is used a lot in Mediterranean desserts. I remember when I once went to Boston, we had this amazing tahini halwa, which is a very great Mediterranean, it's an amazing Mediterranean um, dessert. They do a lot of tahini in Mediterranean cooking. So that's what I'm adding here. And I'm adding a little bit of my cardamom powder, also called elaichi powder. There is no halwa without elaichi powder, as I just said at the beginning. You don't need to do this, but I like to always add a tiny pinch, maybe a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon to all my desserts, all my chai, everything. Cinnamon is something I really like to add. Any curry, any soup, cinnamon is my must have. And this is, Ceylon cinnamon. And then we'll add our saffron. I'm gonna keep, half of the saffron for my the other dessert that I'm talking about. So yeah, that's essentially the halwa. This is it. That was all we needed to do. And now that I added the elaichi, the aroma is just absolutely the cardamom. The aroma is unbelievable.
That's amazing, Mahi. So yeah, Aruna is saying, I bet it's smelling amazing. So okay, so we have a question, Mahi. Okay, how much soy can I drink if I'm postmenopausal?
Like I said, it's safe to have unprocessed soy, as much as 3 to 4 servings in a day. And one serving of soy milk is 8 ounces or 237 milliliters of soy milk. So you can have that. You can have, actual edamame. You can have, the organic soybeans, the tempeh, the tofu, the miso, of course, that's the healthiest form of soy. And then, in Japan, they consume natto. They call it natto, which is a very good source of vitamin K too. So you can have, at least 3 to 4 servings in a day. That's safe. You don't have to have it every day, but that's what they consider pretty okay. And in fact, many East Asian cultures, they have a lot of soy servings daily. That's like a very important part of their cuisine. That's it. Our halwa is done. I might want to serve it now if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So that was it. My quick and dirty, easy halwa. And actually, I have a recipe which is even faster than that, which is a microwave recipe. Talk about laziness. I have perfected all these lazy hacks in my life. Aruna knows, Aruna and I, we are very good friends. So she knows she's an amazing lifestyle medicine MD out of Maryland, and she knows that it's important to remove all barriers from healthy cooking. All right, so my son's going to do a little taste test. But before we do a taste test, I want to just garnish it to show how it looks with all the, the goodies on top. For this one. That's it. And it's a mango for this one. I am going to step in front and show the viewers how the halwa has. Can you?
Yeah. That's good, Mahi. It looks amazing.
Okay, so now my son wants to do a taste test. I hope I did not fail.
Definitely, yeah. Let us see what does your son think of it.
All right, so my 10-year-old Krishna is gonna try this, and Krishna was very excited when he learned that rose petals are edible. Yeah, try it. It's okay.
I don't get the crunch from the almond sugar. Usually I like desserts with almond sugar. So
Yeah. He wants some crunch. He wants some crunch of the nuts, he's saying. The date paste is okay.
okay.
The kids are the best taste testers. They actually really let you know, like, yeah, how it is. And it's amazing that like he likes it. So if yeah,
He's
if
nuts. So, maybe we should add more, like I said, almond butter or, the things that you might not want to add to this is peanut butter, etc., because those are a different taste than a gajar halwa would have. I think the best part, yeah, it wouldn't go well with peanut butter, he's saying.
so yeah, so Salva is saying he's speechless. He's enjoying his halwa so much.
So yeah, that's okay. He likes it. Good. So we have a quick and easy, and you can do the same halwa with microwave. Actually, you can do the same ingredients. You just throw everything in a bowl. I actually have this bowl right here, and you can throw all those ingredients I had, put it in the microwave, heat it for as long as your microwave settings are, and that's it. Garnish and enjoy. Just mix it thoroughly, and your halwa is done.
Amazing. Actually, just want to let you know the comments. Yeah, people are saying it looks amazing, and it's nice to say that it's nice to see that it is tasting fabulous. So we have lots of people saying hi to Krishna as well, and yeah, they're saying Mahima, you look amazing too. Okay, so do you want to show your other recipe too that you have in mind? Yeah.
I have to say thank you to Shobha and all my friends who are there because this is, like I said, I am very nervous, and thank God Krishna approved it, and so that makes me very happy. So let's go to my next recipe, which again I am the queen of lazy cooking, and this is something which I have made so many times for so many Indian festivals with all my Indian friends. And I have to tell you, it's a big hit each time. People line up. I'm not kidding you. People actually line up to do this recipe. All right. So it's popular now in my friends. And I think, I think, Shobha, if you remember last September, we all kind of tried this recipe too. So,
Yes, yeah. I mean, when you posted the picture, it was so amazing. We were like, we have to try this. Yes, this definitely is a must-try recipe for sure.
all right. So I'm going to ask my technician assistant to bring the camera closer again.
Okay, so Aruna is saying you're not lazy, you're efficient, Mahi. So
All right. So I have, this is actually a mango chia seed pudding. Okay. I have some chia seeds here. These are 3 tablespoons. This time I actually measured them. I was, not lazy with measuring this because you do need to measure this. And I'm going to use once again the soy milk I have here or plant milk of any kind. Like I said, life is all about trying. Krishna, I think we're not in the camera. We're getting some weird. Yeah. All right. So okay, so I am gonna do the plant milk again because that's all I got. But they're not in the camera again. I think. I'm sorry. Give us one. Let me just. Oh, okay. All right. This is. All right. So we are just kind of playing with our camera settings here. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second to get that settled. All right. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, you know what? I just want you to. I'm starting to do the recipe as we. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put the 3 tablespoons of chia seeds in my mason jar. This is a large mason jar. I don't know how many cups it is. Let me see. I think this is a 600 milliliter or a 24-ounce cup at least. All right, so more than that maybe. So it can take at least 600 milliliters of contents. So that's my 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. Okay. Then I'm going to actually measure the 2 cups of plant milk. like I said, life is all about trying. So try all plant milks. Life is not just about dairy or cow's milk. Let's try, all kinds of milks that there are: cashew milk, flax milk, walnut milk, almond milk, of course, rice milk, oat milk. I would imagine oat milk would go really well with this recipe too. Pea protein milk. There are so many milks. The options are endless. So this recipe is going to take 2 cups of plant milk. Okay. That's my second cup. Okay. All right. So that's it. I have just added chia seed, and then I added the plant milk. Now the chia seeds, they do tend to clump a little bit. So I am just stirring them a little nicely. If people, I know, Shobha, you have so many viewers in India, and if people find that it's kind of hard to get chia seeds around the year, some other seeds are also very nice. They lend very nice to getting all gelled up and make a pudding. So one of the seeds that I tried, I know we discussed that last year, was cress seeds, which is also called olive seeds, or yeah, I think they're called olive seeds. They are another seed that are native of India. And I think they're available very freely, and they're used in desserts a lot in at least Maharashtra. So they also can gel up very nicely. And if people just soak them for a few hours, they'll form this nice pudding. The only thing is they are a little bit more sharp. They are a little, they have because they're kind of related to watercress, or, the mustard family of greens. They might taste a little bit sharper. They're not as bland as chia seeds are. Shubha, can you hear me?
Yes, Mahi.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I haven't lost my connection. Okay. So that's it. I have just made my base. Now, in this, you can add any kind of fruit or any kind of, confection that you might want to add. I actually could add my boiled carrots in here, and, add cinnamon and nutmeg and pumpkin pie spice and cloves, and make it a carrot cake pudding with a little bit of dates or maple syrup, right? So I think, that's one option, but I'm going to make my famous dessert, which is the mango chia seed pudding. So I have frozen mango pulp here. This is available at any local Asian store. And I think you can get frozen mango chunks anywhere, really. Actually, Costco or any other grocery stores, frozen mangoes are pretty easy to find. So I had taken out my frozen mangoes ahead of this show. I hope they are a little bit thawed. I think they are thawed. I'm just going to use my fingers to just add them to the mason jar. There you go. I'm just putting this frozen mango, and then I'm going to use my spoon to just, now you don't have to use a pulp. You can actually just take frozen mango chunks or any other fruit, frozen pineapples, frozen berries, you name it, frozen cherries. The sky is the limit. But here we are trying to create kind of like a, kesar, mango, pista, sort of an ice creamish dessert. So that's it. I just scooped out all my mango pulp, and I'm going to give it a nice mix again. This mango pulp will, sit in the fridge, and it will thaw, and it will blend beautifully with the pudding and give it a nice creamy mangoey yellow color. All right. And then what I need to add next is I'll put my remaining saffron strands here. Again, it will give it a very nice yellow hue. I'll add some. So now we're trying to make an ice cream dessert from this. So I have to add my elaichi powder or my cardamom powder. I keep calling it elaichi because that's what it's called in Hindi. And then my remaining, Ceylon cinnamon, because like I said, I add cinnamon to everything I eat essentially. And that's it. These are all the ingredients. Give it a nice mix again. So that is all that we need to do. We just let this sit for at least a few hours, preferably overnight. And I just basically am gonna close the lid. I'm going to put it in a airtight mason jar. Krishna, I just want you to read. Yeah, so I'm going to position us again. So, because I want to show you how I'm going to just, okay, so that's it. Give it a nice mix and then let it sit in the fridge overnight. And then in the morning, it's ready to consume. I actually made a jar already for this show. So that was made last night. This is how it looks when it's all done. And we're going to do a taste test again after garnishing it.
So Mahi, Angela is asking, where do you purchase the Ceylon cinnamon from?
Amazon.
Okay.
But you know what? I think most Asian stores may have it. I just don't know if it's Ceylon cinnamon because I think there is different brands. There's different kind of, I think, species of cinnamon. And I think Ceylon cinnamon is supposed to have the least amount of coumarin, which is something that people should avoid because coumarin is it's considered a liver. It's not that great for liver, I think. But again, any cinnamon is okay. You don't have to have Ceylon cinnamon. So,
and Om is asking, don't you need any sweetener?
It depends on how. So when like I said, when I make dessert for my friends and family, I do add maple syrup to it. I do make it a little bit sweetened. So absolutely, if you think this is not going to be, honestly speaking, I think mangoes themselves, the Asian store mangoes, not all mangoes. If you're going to like a Costco, I haven't found their mangoes to be as ripe. But Asian mangoes tend to be, the frozen mangoes tend to be very, very sweet. And so you don't need to, but you should if you are having family over because, they might not appreciate just the plain fruit. I think. And so, yeah, my son is saying it might be good just with the mango because the mango is very sweet, the ones that we get. So I'm just gonna show you how it looks. That's it. The chia seed dessert is ready to consume. I added, all of those same garnishes. I actually added a little bit of dried coconut flakes as well, because I think that goes very well with this mango, saffron and pista flavors. So that's it. It's ready
Looks
to.
amazing, Mahi. It's really so. Yeah.
So let's taste test again.
Yes, Karmi is saying original soy silk also might be a little sweeter than unsweetened soy milk. So if you want extra sweetness.
Actually, you know what? I prefer silk. I prefer silk milk. When I'm making for my friends, I do use just this one, just plain milk. How is it, Krishna?
That's all I'm.
It's like
My favorite dessert of all time.
So sweet. So, okay, Angela is asking, what is the pink garnish? They are the rose petals, Angela.
Yeah, Angela. So Krishna discovered a few weeks ago that rose petals are edible. And I have to thank my friend and my neighbor, Rajeshri. She let me borrow one of her roses. She has roses growing in her garden. And if she's watching, I know some of my friends are watching, I want to thank her.
So actually, Aruna has the very same question. Are those any special kind of rose petals, Mahi?
No, those are just regular roses, like red roses from the garden.
Amazing, amazing. These two dishes are so yum, Mahi. And thank you so much for showing them. As you said, like they're simple and easy to make. So yes, you are in fact our efficient cook where you can whip up wonderful recipes in less time. So that is amazing.
But efficiency, I'll take that and run with it. But I just wanted to say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Like like Aruna says, remove all barriers to healthy cooking, and it doesn't. None of these ingredients are. I am not lying. When we did our last batch of mango chia seed pudding, people were lining up for that over gulab jamuns. That's how much it tastes like mango ice cream, like like a kesar elaichi mango kulfi. So yeah.
Yes, so people are saying, "Oh, Krishna is so lucky since he's having having the dessert there."
Because I wouldn't be here without Krishna's technical expertise. So
thank you so much, Mahi. And yes, so Karmi is asking, have you tried with sitafal? Have you tried this say mango chia pudding with sitafal?
that's a good idea. I can consider trying it. I would say I would do sitafal first with halwa. So halwa, I have tried every single one of them. Every squash, every sweet potato. There's not a starchy vegetable that you cannot make halwa with. You just steam this vegetable and, you use the same exact recipe that we just did. For chia seed, I haven't tried. You're talking about cooked sitafal. I think is it called, what's it called in English?
It's a custard apple. So
Okay.
yeah, sitafal is custard apple. Yeah.
I have not actually.
I'm not sure if Karmi has tried, but I have tried. So where I have taken the seeds off and just have the pulp of sitafal. But for sitafal, I didn't use much chia seeds, so to speak. So like your mango chia pudding. So I just used more of sitafal and like saffron, all the other ingredients that I've put, but little bit less of chia seeds. So I mean, just to have that sitafal taste, I didn't add much of chia seeds, but the rest of the procedure is same.
Okay, that sounds well. I'm going to have to try that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. So Karmi is saying they also have pulp in Indian store. They sell the sitafal pulp. So maybe like instead of mango pulp, we can try that. Yeah. Okay. So yes, so we are getting wonderful comments, Mahi. This looks so amazing, great cooking. And so people are really thankful that you showed them this dishes. And some people are wondering, wish my wife can cook this.
Why? Why you can do it? If I can do it, like I said, anybody in the world can do it. It wasn't that hard, right? I mean, next time if you want, I can show the steps on how to steam the carrots, and that's it's really cooking for dummies like me.
Yes. So you're so right. Sometimes we have the mindset that somebody else should cook, but like if we can cook, so that is the best. I mean, like so that we don't have to really be dependent on anybody or blame anybody. So where we can take charge of health. So that's for sure. So
The gajrela that we had in North India when we like kind of had the festivals and weddings and stuff. It's cooked with a lot of dairy products, khoya and ghee and other dairy products which are very high in saturated fat. And I know that Dr. Potluri is going to cover a lot about the lipotoxicity and the importance of not using these oils and fats at very high temperatures. So yeah, I just wanted to put it out there that it's a delicacy that one can enjoy without any guilt. And the taste may not be exactly as a drier version, but honestly, uh, I like the milkier, the softer, the more sort of soggier consistency of the halwa. So yeah.
yeah. So thank you so much, Mahi. So you have shown wonderful recipes, and we have Sirisha as well. So friends, we are so fortunate. We have like two amazing cooks in the show. So now we have seen Mahi, and we also have Dr. Sirisha Potluri. But before she joins, I would just like to show a few simple recipes that you can make. And Mahi, stick around. So like when we get questions, so definitely we will shoot those questions to you. And I'm just going to turn the camera to my kitchen. Okay. Okay. Now that you have seen how to make a wonderful gajar halwa without using ghee, butter, or dairy, And also you have seen like how you can make yummy desserts that they don't have to be complicated, just simple recipes. So it's really interesting to note, like when it comes to Indian festivals, we celebrate so many festivals and we cook so many foods. And without realizing the amount of fat or the amount of dairy or the amount of oil actually we consume through these dishes are humongous. So if we can make this slight change, so if you can next time try your gajar halwa way Dr. Mahima has shown, or if you can make mango chia pudding to serve to your guest, so it would be amazing, because even those simple changes, they actually go a long way. So, okay, let me, okay. So I'm just going to head downstairs and turn my kitchen camera on so that we can get started. So give me a second. Okay, so is
Yeah, we can see you, Shobha.
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're looking great.
Okay, so like I'm going to show you how to make kheer, as we favoritely call in North India. That's nothing but rice pudding. In South India, we call that as paisam. So like any festival, it's incomplete without making kheer or paisam or rice pudding. So I thought I'll just show you like how we can make rice pudding without using dairy. So I'm just going to turn on the stove. And so for this recipe, I'll be using soy milk. So here, I'm going to put 2 cups of soy milk. And then I'm going to add 2 cups of water. So for this recipe, we need milk and we need rice. So I have taken actually brown basmati rice. So this is something you can get in the Indian store, sometimes Walmart and Sam's Club or Costco, sometimes they carry it. But this is also something that you can definitely order online. So it's brown basmati rice, and I have soaked it overnight. So soaking the rice really helps it cook faster. So you were able to see, like Mahi showed you like how to make a quick and easy recipe. So even this rice pudding, if you want, you can do with the cooked rice. So like you can cook brown rice beforehand. So that will definitely decrease the cooking time. But today I'm just going to show you how to make with the raw rice. So this rice has been soaked overnight. So I just took half cup of brown basmati rice and soaked it. So you might be wondering, maybe like half cup is too small, but the thing is, by the time it cooks, you can see the quantity does come, and when it comes to rice pudding, or let's say even when you're making kheer or payasam, you can try with different grains as well. Like here I'm using rice, but you can also make a millet kheer or millet pudding, and you can try different grains as well. When it comes to the grains, rice takes longer time. So this recipe, like if you're cooking from uncooked rice, will take 30 minutes. But if you already are using cooked rice, maybe you're done in 10 to 15 minutes. And if you're using millets, the same thing, you're done in 10 to 15 minutes. So based on your time, you can definitely choose a grain. So during festivals, sometimes I go for millet kheer, or sometimes I go for rice. So you can pick like whatever, and like both these grains are awesome. So but today we are using this rice. We are using this brown rice. So I'm just letting the milk boil, and the reason I have combined like 2 cups of water with the soy milk is when I put the rice, it actually helps to cook faster. So that's the reason I have water, added water as well. So so I'm just letting the milk boil, and once it boils, then I'm just going to put the rice. So I'm just going to drain the water of the rice.
Carmi is saying millet kheer is my kid's favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's my favorite too, and it really has a nice texture, this texture and consistency. Yes.
And our son Shakti loves millet kheer, like the millet pudding.
So I'm just going to add the brown rice. Like the milk has boiled, and I'm just going to put the rice. So that was half cup of brown basmati rice soaked, and I will just let it cook, and make sure you stir it intermittently, because with the milk it might stick to the bottom. So in between you can stir. Okay, so while this is cooking, I know we had one question in the chat which I wanted to address. So yeah, a lot of people think, okay, why not dairy? Like Dr. Mahima, she has addressed like some of the concerns like when it comes to dairy. I know we are all concerned about our heart health. So the amount of saturated fat that is present in dairy, it's harmful for our heart, or it increases our risk of diabetes and increases the risk of other chronic conditions. And similarly, even without knowing, a lot of people think, okay, what's wrong using with ghee, or what's wrong with using oil? Like if you look like our blood vessels, the inner lining of the blood vessels, which we call as endothelium, is the very life jacket, because it's actually rightly called as life jacket, because endothelium is the barrier between the blood and the tissues. And if you're wondering what this endothelium does, like this endothelium actually helps with clotting of the blood. It also helps release nitric oxide, which helps dilation of the vessels, so that like more blood can reach our tissues. And also it helps to get our immune cells to the site of action. So these are all the functions of endothelium. And if our endothelium is not healthy, you can imagine like how our health. So as we say, our health completely depends upon the health of our blood vessels. And when it comes to fat, if we are consuming more than 5 to 6% of our calories are coming from saturated fat, again, it's harmful. So mostly what this fat does is it clogs our arteries and it also, like when there is much saturated fat, you would see the plaque developing. So you would see that endothelium is being damaged. And that is the first sign, like when you would see high blood pressure or high cholesterol and all those things happening to us. So that's why it's always a good idea to avoid high saturated fat, avoid dairy. The other thing with dairy is it also, the protein present in the dairy increases the IGF level and also increases the risk of cancer, increases risk of prostate cancer, breast cancer. So that's why like we want to avoid dairy as much as we can.
Shobha, can you
Yes.
take a couple of questions?
Sure.
Like, is there a reason why you're using wooden spoon?
Like my vessel is non-stick, so that's why I'm using wooden spoon so that it doesn't. So actually, like it is a copper vessel, but I prefer wooden spoon so that it doesn't scratch my vessels.
Good. So there is another question. This is from Ashrita. She says that she joined this late, and like she has a question. In the previous session, we used date paste as sweetener. She's wondering if she can use jaggery instead of that.
Absolutely, like we can definitely use jaggery. When it comes to sweetener for this dish, either you can use jaggery or date paste or brown sugar. For people who are just transitioning from milk and white sugar, initially date paste might seem like a very strange idea. So in your initial transition phase, like if you want to go with brown sugar, that's perfectly okay. And also like if you want to try date paste, that is good. Usually I use date paste. So in our house, instead of sugar, we mostly use dates. You also get date sugar. You can also use that one. Those are different kinds of sweetener that you can actually add to your dishes, which are a little bit better than your processed white sugar, and they're a little bit wholesome and where you're not too much worried. Okay, so I'm just stirring it. So as you see, like this will easily like take around 10 to 15 minutes just for the milk and rice to cook. So I'll just let it boil. While this is happening, I just want to show you another quick recipe, which we call it as thandai or badam milk. And even this is a very simple recipe that I serve to my guests, and they're always amazed like how good it tastes. It's very simple to make, like and it takes like few minutes to do it, and it's amazing like how we can have that wonderful. So I'm just going to show you like how we can make that badam milk or thandai.
Geraldine says she'll try this pudding. Yeah, let us
Okay,
know
let me
how.
grab my blender.
Let us know, Geraldine, how you like it. This is a very delicious pudding. This is one of our family's favorite.
I'm just going to increase the volume because I'm not able to hear your question.
Are you able to hear now?
Just a second.
Are you able to hear now?
Okay, go ahead. What was the question?
No, Geraldine was saying that she was gonna try this recipe, the rice pudding one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
This is a-
Mahima had a comment about this um, um, about the sugar. Like only thing, the thing about jaggery is that it may not have much fiber as date paste does, but otherwise a better option than plain white sugar. That's a good,
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So when we transition in the beginning, like we were using more brown sugar, right? Like, but these days we rarely use brown sugar, mostly the date paste. So that's wonderful. And Vani is saying wooden spoons can be used for light stirring, and long handles don't transmit the heat. Mostly used in Asian kitchens and also doesn't cause scratching of the cooking surface. Yes.
Yes, you covered it all, Vani. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you how to make badam milk. So here for this one, you would need 1/8 teaspoon of cardamom powder, and you would need 1/4 teaspoon of poppy seeds. I know, like this, usually in the market you get the white poppy seeds, but this looks black, so this is other variety of poppy seeds. But if you have white poppy seeds, sure, like you can definitely use those poppy seeds. And then 1/8 teaspoon of fennel seeds. I know it must be difficult for you to see. And 1/4 teaspoon of saffron strands. And then we have few almonds here. We need 1/4 cup of cashews. I'm just trying to- So these are raw cashews. The one that I'm using, it's a UPIC brand, which you can get in Costco. You can also order this online. So just using this raw cashews. So I'm just going to combine all these ingredients and blend it up in the blender. So I'm blending all this in a coffee grinder. What I find is it's really easy, like when it comes to blending spices. This gadget actually does a wonderful job of blending it very finely. So I'm just going to use this coffee machine to blend this one. So as you can see, like we have just blended into a fine powder, and I'm just going to add this spice mix and milk in the jar and just blend it in the Vitamix. So for this one, again, I'm just going to pour like one cup of soy milk. So you must be wondering, okay, so this is badam milk or almond milk. You can definitely use almond milk. During part 1 of the session, I just showed you how to make a quick almond milk. So you can use 1 cup of that almond milk. Or let's say if you have soy milk, let's say if you run out of almond milk, don't worry, you can still make it with soy milk. So I'm showing you today with soy milk. So you can take one cup of soy milk. And then add this spice mix.
Shobha, Marianne is asking whether you used cardamom powder or cardamom pods.
I used powdered cardamom. So it was powdered. So, I mean, it was store-bought. Since I had the powdered cardamom, I used it. But let's say even if you don't have powdered cardamom, you can take some cardamom and grind in this spice jar. So it will easily grind. So you can also use the green cardamom pods if you like. Okay, so I have this, and then I'll be adding 2 medjool dates. So here as a sweetener, again, I'm using dates.
How long do you soak them, Shobha? You have them soaked, right? The dates.
Yes, since I already had soaked dates, I'm using it, but it's not necessary that you need to soak the dates. So let's say if you have medjool dates, they're already soft, and the medjool dates blend very well. If they are not medjool dates, yes, it's better to soak them so that it blends easily. But for medjool, you don't need it. So I'm just going to give this a blend. Since my blender is that side, I'm just going to make a quick blend and come back. Okay, so I have blended this. So as you can see that you just combine all the ingredients and blend this, and now this one is ready. If you would like, you can also add few pistachios and give it a blend because that really gives a nice taste. Now I'm just going to pour in the cups.
So our friend Dr. Vani, she has a good comment. Jaggery, as Dr. Mahi mentioned, is one of the way to extract refined sugar. It doesn't have any fiber content and similar to calorie content as refined sugar. Only advantage is that depending upon how it is processed, it might have some iron in it. So when considering jaggery, keep in mind it is almost same as the refined sugar. Dates have some fiber and can be used as an alternative for sweetener instead of refined sugars. Date syrup or maple syrup is also refined. However, they can be used in moderation to cut out heavy usage of refined sugar and will satisfy your sweet tooth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very well summarized. Thanks for that. Yeah, so this is sugar is a big thing. Like many of us love the sweet sugary stuff. It's the key. The key is to moving away from the refined sugar to the wholesome sweeteners.
Okay, so I'm just going to pour these and we can garnish it. Like right now, you might not see the yellowish tinge, but what I do is I let it sit for 1 hour, and like I put this in the fridge, let it sit for 1 hour, and the saffron in it emits that yellowishness. So that's what you would find. So I'm just going to garnish this one. So let me get my garnishings. Okay. So here I have some saffron. So I'm just going to add few saffron strands. If you like, so these are almonds. So I'm just going to put few almonds. And this is optional, so I just add a little bit rose water so that it gives a nice flavor. But it's this is completely optional. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in the fridge. So we just chill it for 1 hour and then serve. And then it's really yummy. So I'm just going to go and place this in the fridge. Okay, so this is the chilled one that I already had in the fridge. So I just wanted to show you. So you can see like after some time you have that yellowish tinge. So you can, so let us see how it tastes. So, okay, so do you want to taste and see?
You need a taste tester.
Yes.
Smells good. It's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as you
Really
can see, it's very simple to make and it's very tasty as well.
Mm.
So I serve this to a lot of my guests, and they are like amazed, like how simple and amazing it is.
I think just a little bit of putting in the fridge for a few minutes makes
Yeah.
nice, refreshing drink. This is something that we grew up with, right? Like
Yes.
drinking badam milk.
Yeah, badam milk. Remember, like we used to, like when we were in medical school, like every evening we actually used to go drink badam milk.
Yeah.
But obviously that milk had a lot of dairy
and sugar, yeah.
Yeah.
But now you're able to make it without
yeah.
dairy and just a few dates as a sweetener.
Yes.
It's much more wholesome.
Yeah.
So this is also almost done, huh?
Yeah. So this is coming together. So as you can see, like the rice is cooking. So, like, are they able to see the vessel?
Yeah, they can see it. Can you tilt it a little bit so that we can see? Or do you want to put it on the back?
Okay, the back one is
Yeah.
here. Okay, let me put in this. So is this clear? More clear? Okay.
You gotta tilt it. Yeah. Finish.
Or maybe, okay, like if I put it in the front, does it make a difference? Is it better? Okay. Okay. So as you can see, like it has thickened. So like the rice and milk, they're coming together. So once it has thickened, I actually add like 1 more cup of milk so that like it can really cook nicely. So I'm just going to add 1 more cup of milk. Okay. So I'll just let it boil for some time. So today I'm going to use brown sugar as a sweetener. As we said, when you're transitioning in the beginning, I know date paste may feel weird to you. So that's why I'm showing with brown sugar. So we are just going to take half cup of brown sugar. And here again, this is something you can adjust the sweetness to your liking. So let's say if you think half cup of brown sugar doesn't give you enough sweetness, feel free. So like if you want to add 3/4 or 1 cup, that's fine too. Because we do want you to enjoy the recipe as well. So I'm just going to add half cup. So I'm just going to add this one.
There's a comment from Dr. Mahima. Fresh date paste is also rich in iron, magnesium, copper, and potassium. Yeah, that is so true. Like, so dates are considered to be the whole sweeteners, right? And Dr. Sirisha, she's saying that, Shobha, I wish I lived next to you. The aroma is almost reaching LA. Wonderful. Like, we are excited to see your sharings, Dr. Sirisha. Do you need a taste tester for your
Yeah,
rice
definitely.
pudding?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So again, for this rice pudding, I'm going to add some raisins. So I have added brown sugar. I'm just going to add raisins. And I'm also going to add a few cashews. And few almonds. Okay, as you can see, it's just coming close, and it's almost done. So I'm just going to turn off the stove. Again, like we can garnish this. So I'm just going to add cinnamon powder. What you would notice is after it cools down, it thickens. And if you find that it is too much thick, it's okay to add milk. So you can add another like half cup or 1 cup of soy milk just before serving. So let's say if it is too thick, or if it hasn't thickened much, you can just serve as it is. And some people prefer it chilled. So you can definitely put it in the fridge for maybe an hour, like chill it and serve the kheer as chilled, or you can also serve it warm. So it's your preference, like how you would like to eat. So let me just get a dish. So I had some rice pudding already chilled in the fridge. So as you can see, like once it is chilled, it really thickens up. So it is very thick, as opposed to like you can see here, like it has that runny consistency here. And here you can see like it is thick. So I'm just going to serve this one. Again, you can add few saffron strands on top of it. You can garnish it with some almonds. And if you prefer, you can also put a dash of rose water, even that gives a nice taste. Again, that is optional. If you don't have rose water, don't worry about it. I'm just going to add a little bit.
So there is
Go ahead.
There is one comment from Amisha. She says that she made the pudding in the Instant Pot porridge function in 20 minutes. So that's a great idea, right? Like, yeah.
Yes. So definitely, as I said earlier, you can definitely cook this in less time. You can either use cooked rice or cook it in the Instant Pot. And sometimes people also use pressure cookers. So it's a faster way of cooking. What I found is like when using pressure cooker or Instant Pot, like all these different methods have a subtle taste difference. I know like some of us, like we don't have to be particular about the subtle differences, but when you cook from the raw rice, it gives you a little bit different taste as opposed to when you use the cooked rice, as opposed to when you do it in the Instant Pot. So there are just like mild flavor variations, but again, as I said, this is not something that we have to be too particular about it. Based on the time, if you have less time, go for the cooked rice. But during days when you really want to make a nice rice pudding for the festival, you can definitely use raw rice as well. So as you can see, so here's your rice pudding.
That looks delicious. Yeah, there is a comment from Dr. Aruna talking about dates, jaggery, sugars. If you make the pudding with dates and also have small pieces of fruits or raisins, many people cannot tell the difference. I have experimented and it's really hard for anyone to know. So don't be afraid to use just date paste for most Indian sweets. Use and add some date pieces or raisins, always a hit. So
that's wonderful idea, Aruna. Yes, you are so right. Sometimes like I use different kinds of fruits. Sometimes I put mango, sometimes I put pineapple, sometimes I put persimmon. So based on the type of fruit that is available in the house, we can definitely use all these different varieties of fruits. Okay, so do you want
Mahima is like Arjun taste test.
Okay, let me grab a spoon.
This looks good. So you got to see like four Diwali sweets already.
Okay, let me just garnish with little pistachios as well. So if you have pistachios at home, definitely you can garnish this with pistachios as well.
Basically, whatever you want to put, right? Like you have some almonds or cashews or pistachios, anything goes well with rice pudding.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Yours.
Thank you. All mine. It's very good. Yeah, you can't tell the difference. Like this is like if you just serve it as rice pudding, people won't know that it is made with dairy or like soy milk. It's so tasty.
Yeah.
And like the sweetness is just enough. It's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's delicious. Yeah.
So there you have it. So if you're wondering how I can make sweet or other items, definitely like you can try without dairy. We highly encourage you. So all the recipes that you're actually seeing in this show, if you can try it. So that's why we are doing this cooking demo to encourage you to make this recipe without using dairy, without using saturated fat, without using oils, so that you can really get the taste, like you can enjoy the nice taste. And for this Diwali, like you can have this variety and not feel guilty about it. As my friend Mahima says, let us celebrate Diwali and don't be Diwala, like use like using dairy and saturated fat make your health condition Diwala. So maybe this Diwali, enjoy these treats and be happy.
Yeah, that's a well put. Like so just most of the time, festival time, like many of us are indulging in unhealthy foods and using them as treats. But here we can have these delicious treats and that are made with healthy whole food ingredients.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go up and
Dr. Sirisha is there, and so we have another exciting guest, Dr. Sirisha Potluri. She's joining us from Los Angeles, California. So she'll be demonstrating more healthy Diwali recipes. You can pin upstairs, Shobha.
Okay, so hello everyone. So we are so excited that we have Dr. Sirisha Potluri. She is an amazing cook, and we friends actually call her Annapurna, goddess Annapurna. So Annapurna is goddess of food, and we really consider her as goddess of food because she cooks amazing, and she actually shows people like how they can cook healthy they can eat healthy and reverse their chronic conditions. So she also coaches people how to reverse their diabetes, how to reverse their chronic condition by actually cooking delicious and nourishing foods. So I'm so excited to have her. So welcome, Dr. Sirisha. So glad to have you here.
Thank you, Shobha. Very, very sweet of you to introduce me in that way. All happy Diwali and happy Dhanteras to everyone. I enjoyed the dishes, Dr. Mahima and Dr. Shobha, you cooked. Oh my gosh, mouth watering. I wish I lived next to you.
Yes, I know. I wish we all lived close so that like we could enjoy all the delicious foods. Yes, for sure.
Definitely. So hope you can see the ingredients. I'll try to lower I couldn't find the proper stand today, excuse me.
Yes,
But,
that's good, Sirisha. Yes, we are able to see your plate. Yes.
So today I will be making two dishes. One is Besan Laddoo. I already arranged them because I did a sample yesterday. So this is Besan Laddoo. And these are Chegodi. If you're from Telugu states, you will definitely know this snack. I mean, we used to put them around our fingers, like this and eat when we were, kids. So we can make all these without oil, without butter, without ghee.
You're so right, Sirisha. I have so much fond memories with chagodis, and I was actually excited when you said chagodis. I was like, yeah, Sirisha. Because a lot of South Indians would actually remember that.
Just munch on when we were kids. And this can be made in the air fryer or in the oven with no oil at all. And we don't need plant milk. We don't need just water and some spices is what is needed. So instead of making with the rice flour that we traditionally make, today I'm going to use the jowar flour, nothing but sorghum. In Telugu, we call it jonnalu. It's a form of millet. And there have been studies showing that even in the ground form, when we consume millets, there is reduced risk of chronic disease because of the polyphenol content in the millets, especially sorghum. I'll show you the packet, how it looks. Excuse me for all the sounds, but so this is what I buy when I buy the sorghum flour. It's 24 mantra organic sorghum flour. You can get any brand, but this is available in most Indian stores. So that's why I get this. And it's a very simple recipe. You need 1 cup of sorghum flour. First, I'm going to show these chegodi, the savory snacks, savory and spicy. So the reason is they have to cook in the air fryer like for 10 minutes, right? So while they're cooking, we will be making Besan Laddoo. So just 1 cup of sorghum flour, 1 cup of water, which I already kept boiling on the stove. I'm going to show you. And then all the spices that we will be adding in there, that's what gives the taste. We can't just eat the flour just like that, right? So what do we add? This is flaxseed powder. Most of my recipes will have flaxseed powder. There is a reason for that. We as a group, as Americans or as a global population are getting less fiber than we need. So that's the reason I like to add flaxseed powder in as many recipes as possible. It's not just meant to be in the smoothie, but adding the flax seeds in the smoothie is the best way to consume because the seeds have not been exposed to the air, but then you grind them, you blend them with the cold smoothie, so you retain those omega-3 fats. But even if you use in all the other recipes, at least you're getting the goodness of fiber. It has a lot of fiber. So this is flaxseed powder and little bit of black pepper powder. Who doesn't know the benefits of black pepper powder combined with turmeric? We all know by now, right? How black pepper powder can increase the antioxidant content of turmeric, right? So, and then little bit of sesame seeds. These, when we add in the chegodi, like when we are eating, it gives a very nice taste. I mean, it's almost invisible in here, but then it gives a very nice taste. And remember, we are not adding any fat in here, and the only fat we are adding is the sesame seeds and the flaxseed powder, right? And then a little bit of red chili powder for spice. And this is a very important ingredient we add in these kinds of savory snacks. It's called vamu. I think they call it ajwain in Hindi, and caraway seeds.
Yes, so they're called as carom seeds and
Carom
ajwain in Hindi. Yes.
Yes. So this is a must when you're making savory recipes. Either you're making mirchi bhaji or you're making chegodi or any other chakli. You know, adding the carom seeds is a must. It helps with digestion, but please remember to add little bit. If you add more, it can act as a laxative. So that we have to be mindful of. And as I said, the turmeric. So I can mix all this now because I'll be pouring this in the boiling water. The water is boiling. I'll just bring it here and I'll show you. So I kept the water for boil, as you can see, and we'll just add all these ingredients in here. Okay, and then just take a spoon and then add, see, all the ingredients are here, and then I'm adding this cup of flour, the sorghum flour, and then just mix it. 1 cup of, flour and 1 cup of water, and it'll cook in this hot boiling water. We don't need to cook, but if the water is not boiling enough, you can bring it back on the stove and cook for a minute. And after you mixed it like this, you see how it is forming like a ball, right? So just mix it like this. Believe it or not, just 1 cup of this will make more than 60 these rings, more than 60. I mean, it's amazing, right? So, and 1 cup of sorghum flour, maybe it has 300 calories. But then when we include the sesame seeds and then the flaxseed powder, maybe they'll add 100 more calories. So why I'm talking about all this and the fat content is whenever the festival comes, whenever we think about eating snacks, we think like they have to be deep fried. They have to be made rich. But we forget the basic fact that, our saturated fat intake decides our disease propensity, like either it be diabetes or heart disease. American Heart Association is very strict. It recommends, less than 5-6% of saturated fat per day. For example, if someone is taking a 2000 calorie diet, if it is 10% saturated fat, it's like 22 grams. But American Heart Association recommends 5 to 6% of saturated fat, or even less than that. Especially with for someone with established heart disease, it should be much lower. So just a tablespoon of coconut oil has 12 grams of saturated fat. Similarly, a tablespoon of butter has, around 10 grams of saturated fat. So we don't keep all those things in mind. And unfortunately, in Indian culture, ghee has gained undue popularity, like for wrong reasons. They say like, oh, when we eat ghee, our brain works better. First of all, it won't even cross the blood-brain barrier. Okay, and there is new research coming out. Dr. Sharzais, they just shared yesterday, the brain docs, they shared yesterday how the LDL cholesterol how the saturated fat increases LDL cholesterol and thereby increases the risk of Alzheimer's disease and dementia. So why don't we just reduce the saturated fat in our foods? Like, this is where the health starts, right? We can talk science all day, but this is where it happens. And all these amazing lifestyle medicine docs, they're taking their precious time and sharing, their cooking tips and their beautiful recipes. And what else we need? So
well said, Sirisha. Like you just said it so beautifully about the saturated fat. And if you think of our festivals, like we have so many festivals right from Jan, like starting from Pongal to Shivratri to Holi to Sri Ram Navami, and of course people celebrating Easter here. We have like so many, and by the time we come to December, it's easily it's like 20 festivals. And imagine eating this food for every festival, like every 14 days, almost like when we eat that much saturated fat content. Imagine what can happen to our body.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. And festivals are a beautiful thing. We should celebrate it, but celebrate love, celebrate happiness, celebrate health. And by cooking something healthy, take to the person you love, to the family, to the friends, and they can get inspired by what you make, and they can make the healthy food by themselves. So yeah, festivals are beautiful. I love Diwali. That gives so much joy and happiness, like, putting diyas and wearing new clothes and friends and family meeting up. And what else we need? Delicious and healthy dishes.
Yes, that's for sure. So Geeta is saying, when you are showing your chakodi recipe, Geeta is saying, yes, I remember, because you can imagine, like all Telugu people, they will be so excited with chakodis.
Yeah. So here what I did is first of all, Geeta, it's so good to hear from you. Happy, Dhanteras, Dhanatrayodasi. So I kept this, mix covered for a little bit so that it'll steam in its own heat. And it's already cold. So what we should do for this is like little playing. We will play with this dough just like Play-Doh. So take some water, and then my hands are clean, and then put water. We don't need ghee, we don't need oil in order to, make these. Just take some water and I'm gonna take a plate to show like how it is. It's nice and hot. And it smells really good because of the turmeric, because of the ajwain and all the spices. See, it's just like the dough, right? So whenever you feel it sticking, like keep a small cup of water, just dip your hands in there and then just do this. It'll be warm. It'll be nice and warm. But if you feel it's hot, just take some more water and then do this. Mix like just few times, and we can make these chegodi in the air fryer or in the oven. But it takes 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes in the air fryer at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then in the oven, also the same temperature, but 30 minutes. What I noticed is when we make in the oven, it comes out good. So after making the dough, again, wet the hands. If kids are in the home, they can help. My kids are not home today. So just take a ball like this from here. And one more tip is, if this is little dry, cover this with a wet paper towel until you're working this dough. So just see how we make logs. And then just make the logs like that and keep them aside.
So much fun, Sirisha.
Making the logs. I'm playing today. Like, just make the logs. The recipe is already on the Facebook feed. if you want to check that out while I'm making this. So just make logs like this. See? It's so easy. Like in an hour, you can make chegodi, almost 2 cups of dough chegodi. Like it's not hard. Now the part is how to make the rounds, right? So take a little bit of this and see how you can make the rounds. You can see.
Yes, we can see, Sirisha. Yes.
Yeah. And then just make the rounds, and then make sure like you have like a oven tray or the air fryer tray lined up with a parchment paper and ready. Just adjust the thickness, it shouldn't be too thick or too thin, you'll get an idea when I show. Like this. And then let me make few more, and then we'll put in the air fryer and we'll come to Besan Laddoo. I made them, I think on Thursday night, and they were a big hit. So I made them last Diwali too, and they stay nice for almost 2 weeks. I mean, before that we finished, of course, but. So just make rounds like this, and then you can see, right? And if you're not immediately using the dough, I won't recommend it keeping in the refrigerator and using it, but in an hour or 2 hours, if you're going to use this, cover with a wet paper towel or wet cloth, and then make the rounds. I'll show you like how, like, I take a oven tray and then line with the parchment paper, and then, put them 350 degrees. But since I'm putting very little quantity, it will be done even faster, I'm guessing. And then just, with the same dough, you can make any chakli. If you have like a chakli maker, what we use traditionally in India, you can use, instead of using the rice flour, and even in the rice flour, try to use the brown rice flour. But if sorghum flour, like jonna pindi, if it is available for you, try to use that. Because the polyphenol content is high, the fiber content is little high. So yeah, so for the time constraint, I'm not making all of this, but we'll put these in the oven. My oven is preheated. And the same thing we could put in the air fryer too. If we have time, I'll show that too. Meanwhile, let me cover this with a wet paper towel and then show. So if we are not using the dough immediately, the best thing to do is cover it with wet paper towel like this. So that it'll keep the moisture in well. Okay. And then we'll keep that aside to do it later. And now I want to show how to make Besan Laddoo. These I made last night. Traditionally, Besan Laddoo has a lot of ghee, lot of sugar. Sometimes in the shops, they might add dalda, the bad fat. It's not at all good for us, but ghee and butter are also equally bad. So this one has no ghee, no butter, but then no refined sugar either. I'm going to show you the ingredients that I used. So the ingredients is, first of all, the black chickpea flour. I roasted and kept it. If you see the recipe, you can see like how I recommend roasting it on a very slow flame for like at least 8 minutes. That's the only hard part of making these Besan Laddoo. So this is roasted kala chana. It's nothing but made with the skin on. the kala chana or kala chana besan is nothing but the chickpea flour that's made with the skin on, so it has more fiber. Just 1/4 cup of this chickpea flour has 10 grams of fiber. I don't know, it's very small if you can see, but just 1/4 cup of this chickpea flour has 10 grams of fiber. Okay, so that's the main ingredient. So the main ingredient we're using is kala chana powder. So as I mentioned, instead of using the regular chana, if we use this, the fiber intake will be more too. Okay. And then what else we need? As I said before, I won't miss the opportunity to use flax seeds anywhere where they can be used. So here in this Besan Laddoo, we'll be using flax seeds, and then some almonds and some cashews. But if you want, you can replace this almonds and cashews with walnuts, and you would not even see the difference. We can easily replace with, walnuts. We are talking about reducing saturated fat. So we will be using very small quantity of these nuts. For example, if I take like 3/4 cup or 1 cup of roasted besan flour, I'll be taking just 1/4 cup of the mix of, nuts and flax seeds. So it's just the 1/4. So I'll show you in a bowl. And the best part about this recipe is you can make the mix and keep it aside and use it later. It's like a ready-made mix. The only thing you need to mix later is the date paste. So for example, I'm taking 3/4 cup of roasted kala chana. Okay. And then 1/4 cup of this mix of nuts and flax seeds. So I added around 2 tablespoons of flax seeds in here. So I'm just taking like 1/4 cup. We can save this mixture in the freezer or refrigerator, this nut and flax seed mixture. And then 1/2 cup of date sugar. Date sugar is now widely available. We can find this anywhere, like even Sprouts has it nowadays, but Amazon, you can easily find it. So 1/2 cup of date sugar. I'm adding little less than 1/2 cup because the date paste I made is super sweet. I didn't expect the medjool dates to be that sweet. So I'm adding less date sugar today. And then what is Indian cooking, especially the sweets without cardamom powder, right? So cardamom powder is a must. So here I put out the ingredients. So we make the powder out of this cardamom in a small fine mill. And then I'm going to add a little bit of cardamom powder. And I have some saffron strands too to decorate at the end, or we can mix in the mixture. So I'll add a little bit of saffron strands as well. And then just mix this nicely. So this is the dry mix. As I said, you can make this dry mix and store in the refrigerator. And whenever you get time, make date paste. Even the date paste we can make and keep in the refrigerator. And during festivals like Diwali or Dasara or any other Indian festivals where we eat these kinds of sweets, add date paste and then make the laddu. I'm going to show how I'm be making.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Mahi has a comment. Dalda ghee vanaspati that Sirisha mentioned is unfortunately trans fat. They should be banned for use, given very strong link with heart attacks, strokes, etc.
I completely agree with that. The trans fat is the worst, and still we see many Indian snacks that now they post Indian snacks to America. Like people get those snacks as if they're missing something, please try to make this at home, put a little bit effort and make it without, saturated fat, with the healthy fats like, flax seeds and nuts like almonds, walnuts, and a little bit of cashew. So
Yes,
thank you.
yeah,
Mahima,
you're
for
so
that.
right. The thing is, as Mahi says, trans fat are banned in the US, but I wish like dalda and these things are banned in India too, but I know they're still in use. So I wish people become aware of its danger effects.
So this is the mix. This is the Besan Laddoo mix. This itself is little sweet because we added the date sugar. If you want, you can add hot plant milk, like any soy milk or almond milk, which is hot, and then try to make laddu. But for this festive season, I'm making this with some date paste. I made some date paste last night. Just soak dates in water. You don't even need to soak in hot water, especially when we are soaking overnight. That way we won't be cooking the dates. So if we can soak them in cold water overnight, next day, just, blend them and they form such nice paste. And morning, I just tasted it. It's super sweet. So that's why I'm not going to use too much of it. So around 2 tablespoons. And then again, the fun part, we will be making laddu. Try to mix this date paste with all this chickpea flour, nuts, and flaxseed powder mix. And the aroma of the cardamom is like amazing.
Yes,
So
Ashrita is saying, looking forward more for such healthy recipes from you guys. Thanks all of you for doing this demos. So people are really thankful, Sirisha, that you are showing all these wonderful recipes.
Thank you. Thank you. It's first of all, I want to thank you, Shobha, for, giving us this platform and, leading us into this.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. And I'm really excited that we got to do this, because I know with our busy schedules, it's so easy to say no. But like, given like you generous souls, you were like, yes, we want to show people so that they can make this Diwali healthy. So thank you so much.
Anytime, anytime. If we get a chance to make people eat healthy, why not? So try to make it like a ball, Don't add all the date paste at once, because we might need little less, we might need little more. So be careful before you add too much of the date paste. Again, the fun part, we will be making balls.
Yes, cooking is to have fun.
Exactly, right? Why not? Why not? Cooking need not be stressful. It has to be fun. It has to be, heartful. Yeah. So again, one more tip for here. I'm gonna quickly wash my hands here. Since we're not using any oil or ghee, obviously flour will stick to our hands. So we will wet our hands a little bit before making the laddu. So I have a cup of water with this, and then with water. And then I'm dipping my hands and take little bit, just eyeball, and try to make small laddus. If we make small laddus, it's fun. It's fun to give gift for friends. And then if we just want a small bite, just take, small laddus, and then we will make this and then roll them in sesame seed powder or the nut powder we made with some flax seeds, or pulse some organic raw walnuts, and roll these laddus in there. Be creative. It's all fun. just roll them and make. And the thing is, here you're getting a lot of fiber. As I mentioned, the kala chana, the black chickpea flour has a lot of fiber, flaxseed has fiber, and you're getting the healthy fats from almonds and then cashews and the goodness of cardamom. We always talk of cardamom as a flavor adding substance, but cardamom itself has health benefits too. It's shown to increase metabolism. So why not add that? And the saffron is an amazing spice. Saffron use has been shown to improve memory in the Alzheimer's studies. So try using saffron in your kheers, as Shobha showed, in mango puddings, in every recipes we can try to use. And then just adjust the consistency. If you feel like it's not coming together, add little bit date paste, and then it will come together. Don't add all at once, and we will end up adding flour again and then nut powder again. So it'll become a big batch. And then try to make laddus, and then we will just quickly show how we roll. And I just made 4. I'm going to show that.
So Madhavi is saying, awesome recipe. We'll try this out for sure.
Thank you. So I have this mixture of almond, cashew, and flaxseed. I'm just putting some on a plate. Take this away, you see. So just take this laddu, roll. So, and then they taste even better when we refrigerate and eat next day. The only thing we have to remember is to roast the kala chana on a slow flame for at least 6 to 8 minutes, so that you won't get that raw flavor of chickpea flour. Because we are not adding ghee, we are not adding butter, we are not adding even the nut butters here. And I wantedly kept all the nuts raw. I didn't want to roast the nuts, because when we refrigerate these laddus and eat, the nuts are crispy. We don't need to roast the nuts. And as we all know, like when we roast or cook nuts at high temperatures, they can release, you know, all the free radicals. So we want to avoid that. And but there are some recipes we use roasted nuts, but as much as possible, try to use the raw nuts. They're loaded with all the good nutrients. And as I mentioned, if you have walnuts readily available in your home, just pulse them, make a coarse mixture, and then roll these laddus in that, and a little bit of flaxseed meal. And then, you know, we have laddus ready.
So Sirisha, Madhavi has a question. Any other option other than date paste for sweetness?
We added date sugar. As I said, you can use a little bit more date sugar in this recipe, and then mix it with any plant milk. I mean, you can mix with the nut butters, cashew butter or almond butter, but the idea is to keep the fat content low in our desserts, to keep the saturated fat content low. So that's why I prefer to use plant milk if we are not using date paste. If you use plant milk, definitely these laddus look a little bit lighter because date paste changes the color of these laddus, right? So that's the difference I noticed. But the thing is, we have to use a little bit more date sugar. Date sugar, I think it's made from the dried dates, so the color is lighter. Yeah.
Totally agree, Sirisha. Yes.
So let me wash my hands quickly. These recipes don't take that much time. I mean, we think like all these traditional recipes are like time taking, or who wants to bother, who wants to go through that stress of cooking. But if you keep it simple, like first of all, oil-free cooking makes it very easy, the cleaning. Even the one of my workshop participants was mentioning how the exhaust is is very easy to clean ever since they started the oil-free cooking. So, sorry. I was trying to get something to light the candle. It's okay. So I just wanted to say happy Dhanteras and happy Diwali to everyone. Enjoy your festivities. As Mahi said, it should be Diwali, but not Diwala. So let's make a point like Diwali is celebration of good health. Diwali is celebration of good over evil. So let's all celebrate good health.
It looks so beautiful, Sirisha. Your plate looks so beautiful with
Thank
all
you.
those chagodis and laddoos. Yes, yum.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Shobha, for the opportunity.
And thank you so much, Sirisha. I know like it was a very busy day for you today, but despite that, you joined. So we are really grateful and thank you so much. And like all the comments here, so people are really enjoying. So and they're actually looking for more. So if you see like today, like in 2 hours, 6 recipes have been made. As you said, Sirisha, it doesn't have to be time consuming. So
Exactly.
so today, like we had carrot halwa, mango chia pudding, kheer, badam milk, laddoos, and we had this savory snack, chagodi. So yes, definitely all this can be made.
Yes, and these are really crunchy. I'll do the taste test for you guys.
Yes, we can hear the crunch from miles apart.
So it's delicious. I like it spicy, so I add both red chili powder as well as black pepper, but adjust according to your spice.
Yes, so awesome, Sirisha. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
we really had a wonderful time. It was like a cooking marathon. Yes.
Definitely, definitely.
Yes.
Thank you once again. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye. Okay, so as you could see, like we had so many wonderful recipes created. So we made if you have joined this Thursday session, during this Thursday session, made some pumpkin pudding, made some beet halwa. And I do see in the comments that some of you have tried beet halwa and are saying it really came out well. So I'm glad you were able to try this and enjoy the taste. So, and during first session, we also showed you how to make the almond milk, how to make the date paste. And today you again saw 6 recipes. So altogether 10 recipes. Those are in the recipe book. You can download it for free. And we highly encourage that you try this. And for this Monday, have a really happy Diwali. Like you can definitely try this recipe, serve this to your family members, and have a happy Diwali. So thank you all for joining us. And we are so grateful that you were able to spend this afternoon and morning with us and see all these amazing doctors cook all this wonderful recipes. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and have a happy Diwali. Thank you. Bye-bye.